You know that feeling when you're drowning in pain, but the world keeps moving like nothing happened? That's how it felt when I lost my baby. But what made it worse, what made it unbearable, was knowing that it wasn't just fate, it was her, my mother-in-law, the woman who never wanted me in the family, who made my life a living hell, and who ultimately pushed me to the breaking point. Now, years later, the family is celebrating my sister-in-law's pregnancy like it's the second coming, and I have been expected to stand on the sidelines with a smile on my face. But you know what? Not this time. Because this time, it's payback time. Before I take you deep into this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment if you've ever dealt with a toxic mother-in-law. Trust me, you're going to want to share your thoughts on this one. I've noticed only 98% of you who watch haven't subscribed. Come on, guys, show some love and support. Thanks a bunch to those who have already subscribed. Let me take you back to the beginning. When I first met my husband, Matt, I thought I had won the lottery. He was sweet, charming, and everything I had ever wanted in a partner. But there was one problem: his mother, Margaret. From the moment she met me, she looked at me like I was a cockroach crawling into her perfectly curated life. I was never good enough. My job, not prestigious enough. My background, not impressive enough. My personality, too different from what she wanted for her son. Matt, bless his naive heart, always tried to mediate. "She just needs time to warm up to you," he'd say. "She'll come around." She never did. In fact, as time went on, she got worse. Snide comments turned into blatant insults. My wedding planning turned into a battlefield where every decision I made was torn apart. And when we finally tied the knot, she cried at our wedding, not from happiness, but because she thought her son had made the biggest mistake of his life. But nothing prepared me for the hell she unleashed when I got pregnant. For the first time in my life, I was truly happy. The idea of bringing a little life into this world, of starting a family with Matt, was everything I ever wanted. But Margaret, oh, she made it clear she wasn't excited. She told Matt it was too soon and that I had trapped him. When I walked into a room, she'd sigh dramatically and say, "Here comes the ticking time bomb." And then there was the stress, the endless stress. She would accidentally bring foods I couldn't eat, push me into arguments, and constantly tell Matt that I was going to be a terrible mother. She even went as far as to tell me, straight to my face, that maybe I wasn't meant to be a mom, that maybe God was trying to send a message. And then it happened, the night that changed everything. We were at a family gathering. I was about 5 months along, and Margaret was in rare form. She had been on my case all night, complaining about how I waddled and making passive-aggressive comments about how some women just aren't strong enough to carry a baby. I tried to ignore her. I tried to focus on Matt, on the baby, on anything but the venom she spewed. But then she did something I will never forget. She cornered me in the kitchen while I was getting some water. She leaned in, her voice dripping with fake sweetness, and said, "I don't know why you're so excited. Women like you lose things just as easily as you get them." I was shaking with rage. I turned to walk away, but she grabbed my arm, hard enough that I lost my balance, hard enough that I slipped, my stomach hitting the edge of the counter. I don't remember much after that, just the pain, the fear, the sound of Matt yelling, the hospital, the doctors telling me what I already knew. I lost my baby that night. And do you know what Margaret said when she visited me in the hospital? She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Maybe it was for the best." I wish I could say I screamed at her, threw something, made her feel a fraction of the pain I was feeling, but I was too broken, too lost. And Matt? He was devastated but still clinging to the idea that his mother didn't mean any harm, that it was just an accident. After that, I changed. I distanced myself. I built walls so high that even Matt couldn't break them down. And eventually our marriage crumbled under the weight of my grief and his inability to stand up to her. Fast forward a few years, and guess what? My sister-in-law, Amanda, got pregnant. And suddenly Margaret was the most doting, loving, supportive mother-in-law in existence. She threw the biggest baby shower. She gushed about how amazing Amanda would be as a mom. She acted like the most devoted grandmother to be. And I was expected to just smile and be happy for them. But something inside me snapped. I had spent years swallowing my pain, pretending everything was fine, but it wasn't, and I wasn't going to let Margaret get away with it. So I decided to give her a taste of her own medicine. At Amanda's baby shower, I played the role of the perfect guest. I smiled, I cooed over gifts, I made polite conversation. And then, when Margaret made a toast about how strong women make the best mothers, I stood up. I completely agree, I said, my voice steady but cold. Which is why it's funny, Margaret, that you never wanted me to be one. The room went silent, all eyes on me. Margaret's face turned an unnatural shade of red. "What are you talking about?" she stammered. "Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about," I said, tilting my head. "Remember the night I lost my baby? Remember what you told me in the hospital? Maybe it was for the best?" Gasps, shocked whispers. Margaret's mask of fake sweetness cracked, and for the first time she looked scared, because I wasn't backing down. I wasn't staying silent. "I've spent years suffering in silence, but not anymore. You stole something from me. You broke me. And now you get to live with the truth. Everyone here knows exactly who you are now." She tried to defend herself. She tried to turn it around on me. But the damage was done. People looked at her differently. Even Amanda, her golden child, looked disgusted. And Matt? He just looked broken. I walked out of that party with my head held high for the first time in years. I don't know if Margaret will ever truly pay for what she did, but I do know one thing. She will never be able to hide behind her lies again. Justice doesn't always come the way we expect. Sometimes it's not about revenge. Sometimes it's about speaking the truth and finally being heard. And that was the real payback. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Have you ever dealt with a toxic family member? Share your story. I'd love to hear it.